today to talk to us about the BLK kit. So because Sun and Sand Sports has just bought into the BLK kit and will be selling it soon, we just want to talk a bit about the kit and the brand more generally. So if you can first just tell us a bit about your involvement with the BLK brand.
Yeah, well, I started off as an ambassador a couple of years ago. They were quite big in the Australian and New Zealand markets, and then they were looking to get to Europe, obviously here in the Middle East. So I got involved and tried to help along, getting the brand into the schools, into rugby clubs here, and it's gone quite well, quite early doors, as they say.
And what is it that attracted you initially to the brand?
I think it was just fresh, it was new, obviously you've got the big brands out there as well, but I think we sort of sit just underneath that really at the moment. It's just the way that they're really pushing for team sports, netball, rugby league, rugby union, cricket, they do a lot in the Big Bash as well. So I just like the way they really targeted the team sports.
Okay. And in your view, what is it that makes BLK unique in what's already a highly competitive market?
I mean, like I said, they're always just trying to go on the cutting edge. They're always bespoke and stuff. So if you've got teams or schools, they really like to go out there and they like to bespoke. You go out there, you can design your own kits, you do it, and that's what they're looking for. Is like I said, the schools and the sports teams out there that want something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. So, being such a big name in the world of rugby, how is it that you hope to expand BLK into the region, not just within rugby, but amongst other sports that BLK has started to branch into?
Obviously, the UAE cricket's starting to get quite big, so obviously we're going to try and target them. Netball, we've got a strong influence in netball now, and we're just starting to try and push our way in there. Obviously, they're supplying the kit to all the UK teams, New Zealand, Australia, in netball, Rugby Union. They're getting quite big in Australia now. Then also the Rugby League are huge, and with the Marvel sort of games that they've had on in the Rugby League, something completely different.
So in your view, how has BLK grown so quickly from a brand that few of us have heard about before to one of the world-renowned brands that it is today?
I think it's just the way they've targeted, like I said earlier, the team sports. That's the best way to get out there. And Rugby League, New Zealand and Australia, Rugby League's going well. The netball now. So you're also going for the man and the females, and that's the biggest thing, is to try and grow a kit like that. And they've gone for the big team games. Like I said, netball and rugby is huge here. UK, obviously, netball's big there, and then obviously they're going into the rugby union in Europe as well with Toulouse.
Right. And what's the brand's intentions for the Middle Eastern market?
I think we're going to really target obviously the netball and the rugby, but schools. I just see nowadays, you go in there, the standard of school kit, considering a lot of schools here are private, and it's hot, and that's the thing out here. And you go out there, the kits are just terrible. They don't fit the children very well. They're not bespoke. They're not there. And I think when you're running around in kit all day in hot weather, I think they deserve the sort of best kit for a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about the brand's intentions on an international level?
I mean, just to keep growing. Not really just hit it too quickly, where you grow too quickly, which happened to brands in the past. I think they're just growing naturally, really, and the natural progression now is to go into the UK. They're going there, they're in Ireland. So for me, you look at it and you think, it's just slow but gradual, and they're in the American market as well with the sevens, with the first professional league going over there as well. So that could be everyone knows that could be a huge market.
Right. And BLK has gone on to sign official supply deals with quite a few big teams, mainly around Australasia, but not limited to. So does BLK have any intentions of offering the same deals to some of the local GCC teams?
Yeah, we've had talks with the rugby over here and that, which didn't go as well as we hoped. But the relationship's always there. So for us, we're looking at going for all the local teams as such. With the Jebel Ali Dragons, with them, with the Sharks. So for me, we're just gradually. We're into South Africa now as well. Like I said, we're in Ireland, we're in France, we're going to England. So for me, it's exciting times, and they're starting to get into cycling now. They're starting to get into a bit of athletics as well. And I know where their strength are. They don't do trainers. That's not their strength. That's the other brand's strength. Their strength is the kit, and they spend a lot of money on the materials they use, and looking for the next generation of kit.
Okay, great. So with BLK and Sun and Sand Sports joint sponsorship of the Jumeirah College for this year's Dubai Rugby Sevens, what impact do you think it will have on the sport at a more junior level?
Like I said, we've got Jumeirah College, we've got RAC Academy as well going forwards. which has been a big one for us. You know, the three schools in one. So for us, you know, I just want to make sure the kids have good kit and they go out there and they enjoy it. You know, there's nothing worse running around the sevens. I've done it before in heavy, horrible kit. So you know, I think it just gets the name out there, and to be like with Sun and Sand, it's two great brands, and hopefully, you know, we just link together and really move forwards.
Definitely. So the community that surrounds rugby is very much a social one. How do you see that being integrated here into local communities?
I think when you look at the rugby, I love rugby. You know, I played football as a child. I haven't got any friends from that really, but rugby was just a community game. You know, even with touch rugby, you can get fathers, mums, dads, everyone's sisters just playing touch rugby together, and that's such a big community here with the touch rugby. You know, with Middle East rugby, you know, that's big. Rugby going into the schools, and I think it's just such a good, respectful sort of game, and that's what I like about rugby, and that's why I've stayed such a big part of it, and why I'm on the advisory committee here in the UAE to hopefully grow it and put it into the local sort of areas in the Emiratis as well.
Yeah, that actually leads me on to my next question is your involvement in the advisory committee and how that's going, where it's going, and where you see it in the next few years, really.
It's going really well. You know, you look at it, the numbers are really growing that are taking part, and it's not just boys, it's girls as well. And that's the big main aim for the UAE, is to get more and more Emiratis into it. You know, we know that over here they do have health problems, and I just see rugby as a great game for them. You know, it doesn't have to be a complete contact sport. It can be touch rugby, and like you said, it's a social sport as well, which everyone enjoys, and you know, it's all shapes and sizes, and that's the good thing about rugby.
And finally, so we have the Rugby Sevens coming up this weekend. Who can we expect to see? Which teams will be wearing the BLK kit?
Well, we've got the champions Fiji, America, who are obviously going to be the dark horses. I think they're just growing as a power in rugby all the time. You know, Samoa. So for me, you know, we've got some great teams out there that are wearing the kit, and you know, for me, Fiji are the ones, you know, like I said, the champions, and they're always the entertainers. So we're very proud to have them on board with BLK.
Great. Well, it should be a good weekend, and we're going to be following the Jumeirah College team as well to see how they do, and they'll be wearing the kit. So yeah, it should be a good time.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.